What's up, y'all? Good morning. Great morning. Great morning. We made the wake up. So hopefully you guys can hear me because, me and my technical difficulties over here. I just wanted to come and do a live. It's been a minute. Listen, I know y'all heard me say this before. I don't like to sound like a broken record. Nonetheless, I'm telling my age. Normally, us seasoned people, we have a tendency to repeat ourselves over and over again. But I was sharing this with somebody yesterday. Fall a million times, get up a million and one. The goal is never to quit. So I was sitting here anyway, had a morning, I get up and I do I call it celestial morning. It's just my time to fill my cup up first. So literally just had my prayer and I have my journal that I always write in. I believe in doing things in 90-day blocks. So all mine. It's so funny. It's not funny, but anytime you either come to the shop or to my home or like see anything that I have, like this is my favorite color, wear it all the time. But nonetheless, so I just wanted to say hi to y'all, man. It's been a minute. Been on my bike, super grateful for that opportunity, just getting back into the saddle, doing the things you know, that I love. And I always encourage other people, God only give us one opportunity at life. So just make sure you feel it or learn to feel it with the things that you love to do. The book that I'm reading, and you guys may have heard me post this before, Get Out of Your Head. This book has been a game changer. And what's crazy is it's not the first time that I read the book. I've read the book actually once before. Most of my books, I read it more than once. Like some books I'll read twice a year. Some books I'll just read like once a year. But it's so crazy how you'll read the same book and you get a completely different message. So as you can see, I have Who Moved My Cheese and then Eat That Frog and then Get Out of Your Head. So I'm going to just share this. I shared it in my client group, and some of the women got the book. But it's Get Out of Your Head, Stop the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts. And Jeannie Allen is the author, and I'll just read real quick what it's about. It says, are your thoughts holding you captive? Most time, for most of us, they do. Whether you want to admit it or not. And this is something that I had to come into a realization of and overcome. Our thoughts are everything. And how you view yourself and what you tell yourself is normally connected to the actions that you take. So going back to my 90-day journal and just waking up every morning, and I haven't perfected it, meaning I'm not on it every single morning. There'll be some mornings where I'll do it later. But this has been one of the constants in my life that really helped me view myself different. And I believe in faith. I believe in seeing things before you see it. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we as a people don't take time to sit and write out our goals. Some of us, you got different levels, or you have different kinds, or however you want to say it. You have people that are visionaries, like they'll see a thing, they'll write it down, and they'll move as if it already exists, and things start to fall into place for them. Then you'll have other people that'll watch those people and be like, dang, I wish I could have, should have. And we all can. And then you have those that'll write stuff down, and they'll be like, yeah, but they'll write down a goal, and then they'll dismiss it as soon as they write it down. So getting out of your own head is actually helping you to get out of your own way. For myself, I can say it's the consistency for me, if that makes sense. Like sometimes I'll write something down and I'm like, dang. But I'll write stuff down and I'm like, Lord, I'll put a prayer on it. And I'm one of those people like once I write it down and I'm going after it, I typically won't stop until I achieve it. So I've learned in my seasoned years and my wisdom is to like whenever I write something down, I'll just pray the prayer like, Lord, if this is not for me, like remove the thought from my mind and my heart so I'm not chasing my tail. And when I started doing that, it just worked for my greater good. But nonetheless, it says, are your thoughts holding you captive? I'll never be good enough. Other people have better lives than I do. God couldn't really love me. Jeannie Allen knows what it's like to swirl in a spiral of destructive thoughts. But she also knows we don't have to stay stuck in in toxic thinking patterns. And a lot of times we stay stuck in that circle, and this is why we never have progression. Excuse me. And I'm sorry, as she discovered in her own life, God built a way for us to escape that downward spiral. Freedom comes when we refuse to be victims to our own thoughts and realize we have already been equipped with power from God to fight and win the war for our minds. And I'm going to read that again. It says, freedom comes when we refuse to be victim of our own thoughts. And that is one thing that will keep us stuck too. We literally become a victim. I'm not talking about the outside forces, right? Because they really should not be able to control you, but it's what is in here, how you view yourself. And if you're one of those people that, that may look at yourself and you're like, man, I'm a failure, I fail at everything, and blah, 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 blah. You start to just sound like you ever be around people, they just complain all the time? I'm allergic to that. I can only be around a person but for so long when they start complaining and have all this negative stuff. I'm really a positive person, and I'm not saying that we don't have moments where we need to just like release it, but when you're saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again negatively, or you saying negative things over and over again, that's just, you say it and it's going to come back. But when you speak positivity, and get around people, y'all, I'm not going to, sometimes I say I sound like a broken record, but the things still hold true. Get around people that are going in the direction in which you are looking to go. If you find yourself, you ever, I know people, they wake up and they mad or they're angry and they're not happy and they're just like, I don't know how to explain it, but I guess that's the best way to explain it. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, after a while, like, why don't you do something to change that? Nothing changes if nothing changes. They say, what is it? What's the definition? I know I'm gonna mess this up. This is what I do. I jack all these quotes up. But we do the same thing expecting a different result. No. Nothing changes if nothing changes. That's a great thing to write down on your bathroom mirror. Like, you can incorporate that with your affirmations. So you wake up in the morning, for those, I'm praying that all of y'all brush your teeth, wash your face in the morning. Write on your mirror, nothing changes if nothing changes, and then start your affirmations. Like, that's powerful. Filling your cup first. You have to learn to crawl before you walk, because some people will listen to some of the things I say and then they think tomorrow is just going to be a brighter day and everything is just going to be different. It don't always work that way. It's practice. It's like going to the gym one time thinking that, oh, your muscles just going to be popping. They may be sore, but they're not going to be popping on day 2. You got to continue to go back over and over and over again. And it's the consistency, and I'll talk about that in a second. It's the consistency over time that's going to get you to see the result that you had originally launched out to achieve, if you will. But I'm going to finish this. Okay. It says, and get out of your head. Genie inspires and equips us to transform our emotions, our outlook, and even our circumstances by taking control of our thoughts. Our enemy is determined to get in our head to make us feel helpless, overwhelmed, and incapable of making a difference for the kingdom of God. But when we submit our minds to Christ, the promises and the goodness of God flood our lives in remarkable ways. It starts in your head, and from there, the possibilities are endless. And then just a couple quotes from people that have read this. It says, a must-have resource for anyone looking to get control of their thoughts, and a beautiful reminder that God is at work in all of the messiness in our minds. Powerful, prophetic, and necessary. So if you get an opportunity, this book is good. And I'll just read the chapters in here too. So even for the most positive person even for the most positive person, or those that, think that we've arrived and made it, these are the things that you constantly do over and over again that's going to help keep you at that level. So sometimes we have dips. Like, we are perfectly imperfect. Well, I'll say Crystal, because I'm not going to bring y'all into my world, because it may not be you. I am perfectly imperfect, working on my perfection, and I constantly am working to elevate myself mentally, spiritually, physically. When I talk about, my thing up there says be you, I always tell people, be you, but become the best version of yourself. And I talk about total transformation. A lot of times y'all see me on social media, it's nutrition, fitness. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. But I'm very clear. You could be the most fit person and the most jacked up mentally. You could be the most like um with intelligent person, but your health is just like the worst. You can be the most spiritual person, and your health and your mind could be off. Like, so I'm always going to encourage you guys to just work on your total self, total transformation, mind, body, and soul. You find a person that is working on all three of those. It's not that they're, you work on all three of them. I now don't really believe in balance. It's kind of hard to work on everything the same at the same rate at the same time. There's different seasons for different things, but when you like desire to really become that better person and you work on all three of those, you can't fail. And if you're around people that tell you that's not possible, and I'm just sharing my own experiences from me, from my own life, and then just working and being around other people that have incorporated the same mindset or tools or however you want to say it, and watching them elevate in those different areas, it's like it's beautiful. So the chapters. The chapters. It's so weird talking to y'all. Nobody can talk back to me. And I have no idea who's on any of my social medias because I'm using my Acam Live and I can't even see y'all. But nonetheless, part 1, all the thoughts. Chapter 1, thinking about thinking. Chapter 2, what we believe. And that's a good one. Chapter 3, spiraling out. Chapter 4, breaking free. Chapter 5, where thoughts are captured. And chapter 6, make the shift. And then part 2, taking down the enemies of our mind. Chapter 7, drawing battle lines. This was another good chapter. Chapter 8, holding space for silence. I choose to be still with God. Chapter 9, lifelines. I choose to be known. Chapter 10, unafraid. I choose to surrender my fears to God. Chapter 11, a beautiful interruption. I choose to delight in God. Chapter 12, less important. I choose to serve God and others. Chapter 13, not overcome. I choose to be grateful. And that's a big one because we are some complaining people. I know I'm getting off. I'm going to just say this real quick. When you talk about being grateful, there's a lot. You can look at your life, even myself right now. You can look at your life and you can point out all the things that are going wrong for you. And this is where like doing the gratitude and your affirmations every day kick in. Because, oh my gosh, my cell phone's not working and this is not, but in my mind, you know what I tell y'all? Well, not in my mind. This is what I tell myself. Because I go there too, the thoughts will come. We can't stop the bird from flying over our head, but we can stop that joker from building a nest. So having the tools to pull out to be like, not today, we're not doing this, is to really just take and sit in silence for 5 to 10 seconds. Take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. That breath, this air that you get to breathe is priceless. There's people, and I'm emotionally connected to this because, when I was in that car accident, like for real, it could have been over. Right now, like I have several people that I thought would be here today that is not. And it's so crazy every time I get emotional. But, so even my sister Mercedes, she left, my personal opinion, and I'm clear, God don't make no mistakes. So we can get, we miss them. But one thing I'm very clear of is like, for those of us, well, I'm talking about Crystal because like I said, I'm not going to project my beliefs and what I do on you. But what I do know, no matter how close a person was to me, no matter how much I love them, I know that God doesn't make mistakes. But nonetheless, so I have this picture right here, my sister Mercedes. I met her later in life, and she was like the chocolate version of myself. I consider myself a really positive person. I don't like negativity. It's a lot of things that I just am allergic to. And when we talked, she was like the chocolate version of me. Nonetheless, fast forward, she ended up passing away because of cancer. Really, really, really young. And what's crazy is it started with ovarian cancer, and I'm like, man, like we just never know. When mine started to, so I wasn't fully, I don't know how to say this, not that I wasn't fully diagnosed. When the cancer cells, I just caught mine early enough. As soon as I had Madison, actually while I was pregnant with Madison, it started to look a little yuck. And y'all, when we talk about fasting and praying, I don't know about when people be like, God is not God. Listen, I know that God sit high, look low, all that good stuff. But I fasted and prayed while I was pregnant. And people will be like, oh my gosh, when you have a need and you looking to be healed, All that other stuff go out the door. And this is why I say you got to be careful of who you hang around. I went on a 3-day fast. I went into the doctors. I don't remember how many months pregnant I was with Madison, but it didn't look good. And they told me, and Madison was my last, I got 4. And the first 3 I delivered vaginally. They told me that we may have to have a C-section because if she came through the regular way, for lack of a better term, that, we could have a whole lot of complications. So, did what I did. And, people, oh my God, and I didn't broadcast it. I mean, I had some that was close to me that I'm like, listen, we need to go down to prayer, and I need to go on a fast. And I did. And you'll have some people like, oh my God, the baby's going to starve. Listen, when you have a need and you're looking to be healed, delivered, all that other stuff go out the window. But nonetheless, fast forward, when it came time, when I got to the hospital, when they checked everything, it's like when the airplanes take off, or not take off, that's not what I meant to say. When let's just say that. When the airplanes are cleared for takeoff, the doctor checked everything. He was like, let's deliver. Delivered Madison. 3 months later, everything came back. So I ended up getting a hysterectomy. Fast forward, long story short, I'm still here. However, my sister didn't catch hers early enough. And it didn't turn out to, she's not here today. But I say that to say, when we start to complain, that could have been me, or that could have been you. Like, I don't care what your situation is. I don't care what losses you have. I don't care how and when I say I don't care, I'm just saying it from a space of you can get over that. You can rebuild yourself. You can overcome. But you can't come back from, like some people think they can, and good luck. Seriously, that's not something I believe in. Some people believe they could die and just come back. But from what I know, we get one chance of this. So it really helped when you start to look at your life and you start to look at your surroundings and you're like, I don't have this and I don't have that, and da-da-da-da. You just sound like a complainer. Like, take a second, take a deep breath, and just be grateful. Start there with this air that you get to breathe. Because there's people, even today, what is today? Today is May 3rd. There's people that thought that they were going to wake up today whose family got a phone call that they didn't make it. That could be you. Like, that could be me. I was like, shoot. For real, when I get back consistent with doing my lives and affirmations and all that good stuff, I'm laughing because I go through these moments where I'm like, yo, I'm going to come on here and we're going to do this. But there may be somebody looking for me to hit the record button, and, you may get the news that Crystal, Lil Baller, is no longer here. So I don't take that for granted, because we don't know the time, the day, the second, nor the hour, nor the second of when our time is going to expire. So immediately you kick right into a space of gratitude. All right, so chapter 14, run your race. I choose to seek the good of others. And let me tell you, and I didn't even mean to say all this, but that's another thing too. We as people, we go through, we have highs, we have lows. We're not perfect, but when you're a person that always seek the good in others, even when, I have folks that sometimes you may or may not have experienced this. I like to put fires out. And it's challenging sometimes, but when you know who you are, whose you are, and what your mission is, it makes the job so much easier. You'll have person A over here complaining about this, complaining about person B. You'll have person B, and I'm always like trying to get people to look at the bigger picture. I do my part, and I step back. But just seeking to look the good, because when you jump into those conversations and they say, Sally took the apple and she threw it at the window, and we get into the, oh my God, I can't believe that she, especially for a season like this, I don't know, maybe it's just me, because even older people do it, and maybe this is just, like I said, sometimes we should take pride and be grateful for, when God created us, he broke the mold. But I just choose to operate from my heart and see the greater good in people. And sometimes me seeing the greater good in people and trusting folks, it just kind of left me hanging on the street. But I've learned to incorporate God a lot more before I start making certain moves, if that makes sense. And then part 3, thinking as Jesus thinks. Chapter 15, who do you think you are? 16, dangerous thinking, and that's it, 16 chapters. So for those of you that might just be logging on, this will bless your heart, your mind, and your soul. So get that book. Always reading. And y'all know, to know me, to know me is to know I don't even like to read. My books used to be like this big, but just a little thick. So I graduated. And I have a hunger to learn and just become better. And even with my group of women that I'm working with, it's so funny. We talk about discipline. I tell you guys often, whenever someone is sharing a message, the message is always to the messenger first. And we're on this goal. We're on this goal. We're on this journey. Crystal's on this journey, and I'm like, bringing as many people along that want to go. Just becoming better, being better, learning to create some type of discipline for ourselves, because if everything was easy to us and we were able to just get these amazing results, everybody would be doing it. So it's okay when you look and you're on a road and you only see a few here and a few there, because it's not always meant for everybody to join you. It's not always meant for everybody to come along with you. And when people fall off, don't be disappointed, because I had this conversation. I know I have a lot of conversation with a lot of people. We were talking about this the other day. Like, sometimes people will be deleted and it could be for your greater good. So, instead of us complaining, like, ask, maybe it's for a reason. Maybe it's for your greater good. But we'll allow it to stop us. We'll start complaining. Well, why they, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, everything happened for a reason. You get stalled, we complain. Oh my gosh, the car need to get out of the way. You drive down the street 2-3 miles, a car accident. He was protecting you. Like, you just look at everything differently. When you put those eyes on, you just appreciate life. So that's that. Get out of your head. And then I think I started off. So yes, some still affirmations. And I used to do my affirmations. So when we talk about our celestial morning, always start. Oh, look at the thumb. That's cool. Hey, I'm always getting distracted. See, when we talk about celestial morning, first thing is prayer. I'm grateful for the Lord waking me up today, and have your moment there. Then it's your affirmations. And one of the switches I made, you have to look at yourself in the mirror, and I thought this was the dumbest thing before. I'm amazing, I'm strong, I'm powerful. Now I'm like, with God, I'm amazing. With God, I'm strong. With God, I'm consistent. With God, I am love. With God, I am. So affirm the things that you are and looking to be. With God, I am consistent. With going live on social media. I'm such an in-person person. I like to get my tribe and talk to them like this. So getting on social media, and I know I've been saying this for the last few years, is uncomfortable, believe it or not. But it's like one of those things where I just push the button and I'm like, oh, we're live. Hey, what's up, y'all? And then I just, as you see, now I'm comfortable with talking. And the next time I go to push it, we'll be at the same spot. But nonetheless, affirmations. So just affirming all the things that you want to be. And looking at yourself, and it's like demanding it. I am consistent. I am powerful. I am diligent. I am strong. I am love. I am a powerful public speaker. That's like one of my, I'll be saying that from now until. And then gratitude. So here, I write in my gratitude journal all the things I'm grateful for. And you have to stay steady with it. And you don't look back to what you wrote yesterday. And when I say you have to stay steady with it, for example, if you guys have been watching my journey, I have, so for 10 years now, I've been on my nutrition plan. I've loved the journey. When I first started, I dropped 35 pounds in 7 weeks. Mom of 4, basketball player, middle school, I'm sorry, I ain't playing middle school. I did 1 year nonetheless. I digress. High school, college, never had an ab, hopped on my nutrition plan, dropped 35 pounds in 7 weeks, had 2 abs, y'all. I was excited about that. So fast forward, ate a little bit. Like, if you don't take your pictures and look at yourself, you don't really realize. And yes, me, even, I'm always going to be transparent and honest with you guys, on this journey. So last year I was like, man, I need a new goal, and I need something to work towards. I'm excited to be back on my bike. It's look a little different than before because I'm a lot older. 7 years. It's been 7 years. And I'm like, girl, it's a lot of work you got to put in. But I was willing to step up to the plate and do it. Not only that, I said I wanted to I want to be the best shape by 50. So the conversation I had with Crystal was, when you started this 10 years ago, what got you there is not going to get you to the next step. And also, like, ladies or men, whoever, I'm not old, I'm seasoned. So I put a different spin on it. So now I'm like, okay, we're going to do this again. Because people will say, oh my goodness, you're older, it's harder. Guess what? You're absolutely right. Whatever you tell yourself, that's what you're going to get. Even myself, I had to catch myself. I was like, wait a minute. All I need to do is get started and create some type of consistency. And that's literally what I did. So I wrote, I am grateful for, and I like my size right now. Like I'm never, first of all, the way that my body is built, I'm never going to be skinny. Like people like, you skinny. Take that word out. Crystal and skinny don't even go together. My bone's too big to be skinny. Even if you took all the fat, I'm still not going to be skinny. But my goal was to get to first it was 199 to get out of the 200s, and then 195. And I said, how do you get there? One day at a time. In my gratitude journal, I've been writing, I'm grateful for weighing 195 pounds. I'm grateful for consistency. So all the things that you are looking to be and or attract, write it down. And here I am now. But you got to be willing. Like we have goals, y'all, and we have these goals, and we're not willing to put ourselves out there and sacrifice to achieve it. And what's amazing about that is who you get to become on the journey. This is like 50 messages. I know I'm talking long, but I'm about to get off this because I got to go anyway. But nonetheless, it's who you get to become. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, I have these women, and I'm telling them, you could do it, you could do it, you could do it. I got like 3 male clients or whatever, but I am a lady. I started studying about all these hormones, our microbiome, and all this other stuff. Man, I ain't gonna get started on that. I was so excited. We'll talk about that later. Nonetheless, I believe in being a leader by example, and no, it's popping up on my phone, and doing it first. So it's like, I'm not a you can do it type of person. I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna show you how it's done. Is it always easy? No. Yes, it's not always easy, but it's worth it. And fast forward, just looking at my pictures, I'm like, wow, like my body has changed a lot. And it all started with a thought and a goal. Because if we'll have these goals, but you got to keep it right here. And for me, I had to continue to press forward, not just because it was my goal, because I have these women that I'm working with, and I need to show them, I don't care your color, your size, your shape. If you have a goal, you can accomplish it if you're willing to go through the process. And then, I know people, I'm like, I have friendships, and I have this, that, and other, and I'm like, oh, I would love, and let's not get it twisted. It has nothing to do with the scale. Like, that's just a number that I want to reach. But being older, like, you just want to feel amazing. You want to feel energized. You want to look in the mirror and love the person that you see. I don't care how much you weigh. That should be something that you do anyway. But internally first, we want to be healthy. The byproduct of that is the weight loss, if that is your goal, if that makes sense. So let me just be clear, because it ain't like, oh, let's just lose the weight. But it's so crazy. And I got to hurry up, because see, I start getting excited about this stuff. What's crazy is when you're disciplined enough to start to lose that weight, it's really connected to other weights that we carry also, if you think about it. So when you are willing to be disciplined, and you're willing not to eat the cake, and you're willing not to do this, and you just look and you're like, wow, like when I talk about that total transformation, it's who you get to become in the process. Because we all have a start line, right? We will start, like right now, matter of fact, I digress, but I'm going to pop this infomercial on there. Our 21-day challenge will be starting on Monday, y'all. So anybody want an opportunity of winning $1,000, holla at your girl. You can inbox me or put it down below. We all have a start line. And what always happen, I typically have anywhere between 15 to 30 people that'll join my challenges. We have day 1. Everybody's fired up. Oh my goodness, coach, I'm ready to go. Let's do it. I'm going to knock this out. Cool. Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You're like, dang. A couple people. This is how we show up in life, period. But if you could continue, and it's okay if you fall down, because I've had people fall down on day 5 and look up at day 8 and they're like, here I am, coach. I'm a firm believer that fall down 1,000,000 times, get up 1,000,001. But when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that was my story, right? I declared a couple things a few times, and I didn't always hold on to the declaration. So I'm not telling you what somebody told me. I'm sharing my experience. So when I see it, my people know I'm always going to cheer you on. As long as God give you this air to breathe and you woke up, you have an opportunity to accomplish anything. And don't allow anybody, including yourself and your mind, for those of us that are in our head, to tell you anything differently. And so I started to say that we all have a start line. But as you start to run this race, we get a little weary. We get a little discouraged. We start to, like, our faith start to dwindle. This is why you got to keep your goal in front of your face, and you should have an emotional connection to it. And for me, like I said, I love to inspire, empower, and support other people. So yes, the goal is mine, and yes, is about me, but it's more so to show other people what's possible. Because again, I'm taking you guys on a journey. I'm not saying go to France, make two lefts, my left is this way. Make two lefts, make a right. You'll make it. You'll do it. Nah, I'm like, let's go. So I'm excited to be that person. And this last few months have just been amazing. Just been in my own space, training and, just working on becoming the best version of myself. And like I said, bringing as many people along. So I said all that, y'all. Started off by sharing a book with y'all. Okay, so we got to gratitude journal. I'm sorry. Then it's just scripture reading. So one scripture, meditate on that throughout the day. 10 minutes of meditation, I'm going to tell y'all right now, that has not happened but once, maybe 5 times. So I have to learn how to sit still a little more. And I always encourage a friend. And then personal development. Right now, personal development is different for all of us. I'm almost finished though, Get Out of Your Head. So that's that. For those of you that are local, what do I have new going on? So I'm back in the gym training, doing what I love. So crazy. It's like a full circle. Because when I started this before, I had the ladies, Katanya, remember, that's my girl. I was training in the cul-de-sac and in the basement of my home and just helping everybody feel amazing and energized. And then fast forward, here I am. So for those of you, got a nice special going on. And like I said the other day, I think it was yesterday, because I was speaking to another trainer and another young lady that's looking to get her stretch business going. And it was, we were talking about the ups and downs of business. And what I shared, I said, listen, and this is for anything. Whatever God had for you is for you. I'll say that again. Crystal, whatever God had for you is for you. And those of you that are listening, but you have to believe that. So when I had my restaurant, I know I said I was getting off. It's going to take 3 minutes, but it might help somebody. When I had my restaurant, all my friends that I had at the time, we was affiliate, a lot of church members, things of that nature. When I opened my restaurant, I expected everybody to come through. And when that didn't happen, you start to get a little discouraged because you're like, oh my God, people know I got a business and da-da-da-da. But you know what? When I changed my mindset from that to like, God opened these doors for me to have this business, you got to learn not to depend on people. Whatever God had for you is for you. Even for what I do, I'm like, what I do, I can help so many people. But you know what? My vibe is going to attract my tribe, and whoever God had for me is the ones he's going to send. And those are the ones I'm going to work with. So for those of you that have businesses, like, be clear. I was like, look, don't get discouraged. If God put something on your heart, the business, a journey, no matter what it is, and it's something that he had for you, I don't care who don't support you. I don't care if it's your family. We was just talking about this different organizations we were a part of. You got to stand tall on what it is that he gave you to do. I don't care one person show up. Like, after so many years, it might just be your lack of faith. I've been there too. And it was like, wait a minute, I'm putting my faith into the wrong thing. Let me take this faith, put it back over here where it's supposed to be. Be patient, do your part, and I promise you it will grow. So I said, I feel like I'm not allowed to use the word, really seasoned, because I just look at things differently. I'm like, listen, he put something on your heart to do. Don't look to people don't depend on other people to fulfill that. You got to know that you know what it is that you want in this journey that you are on, and you got to put your blinders on, and you cannot be distracted by those things. Because sometimes, too, that could be your test. Like I said, we had the restaurant, y'all, and our restaurant blew up. And girlfriend ain't go to school. Y'all know the story. I didn't go to school and learn how to cook. I just had a passion and it started at church. We feed everybody at our church when they came. It came from a space of when I made my food, it tastes good. Everybody liked it, and I'm always looking to make some extra money. So I was like, man, I can open up a restaurant. And like I said, at first, the people, I'm like, where's everybody at? Girlfriend, you focusing on the wrong thing. And when I shifted that focus, I had so much. When we talk about how God opened up a window and pour you out a blessing that you don't have enough room to receive, it was a lot. And, it was a lot of lessons in that too. Had I known then, because people were like, well, it was so good, why you closed? Because folks got on my nerves. I didn't know. This could be a whole other live. When I say folks got on my nerves, I just didn't, know how to manage people. And if you know my sister, we're kind of opposite. Brandy, her patience is like this. Mine's like this. If it was Brandy, everybody would have been fired. But when you have somebody that have kids and they're like, I can't come in because of this. But nonetheless, I was just saying that to say, I know I was all over the place. But nonetheless, so yeah, put your focus on your purpose, on God, and just allow Him to fill the space. Because if it's for you, sometimes I've been there too. Sometimes we'll embark on a journey that He didn't have us to embark on. That's why now I'm like, with God I'm amazing, with God I'm strong. And if there is anything dwelling in Crystal's heart or head, a goal or whatever, and it's not God's will for me, please remove it, because we end up chasing our tails. So it's a lot of lessons, a lot of different things I've learned through the years. So I'm really excited to finish out this year, y'all. It seemed like yesterday I was saying, hey, top of the year message, and y'all, we already in May. So what have you not accomplished? Like going into the new year, where has your faith failed you? That you were excited about a thing, because we get excited, and then before you know it, like the excitement is gone. So just know that you could do all things, and stay out of your head. And if y'all got any goals, reach out to your girl. I think that's it. Yeah, because I feel like I've been talking to y'all for a very, very long time, and I can't even see y'all because I'm using my phone to as my camera. But anyway, remember to do something today that your future self is going to thank you for. We have one life to live. Live it. Remain faithful, and just remember, I tell my group this: be committed to becoming 1% better every day. Be okay with slow progress, because the person that take off running, they normally die out before the person that is committed to becoming 1% better every day. So I love you guys, and I'm not going to say I'm going to be live tomorrow. I'll talk to you guys the next time I talk to you, but you know how to reach me. So love you. I'll talk to you soon. And how do we end this? And we finish it. There we go.